For an episode titled Threesomes a Crowd, we got very, very little threesome action.
I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, but that's a real tease, so to speak.
That's how they do.
Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast. We are doing season 12, episode 10 of Vanderpump Rules, The New Glass. I am Sunday. I am the pop culture professor and the self-proclaimed expert.
I am Jeff. I am the service industry expert here. And we have some other folks who work in the service industry on this show.
Yeah, we got a little bit of real worker alert, but like real dummy alert later.
We definitely had that. Yeah, exemplified.
I think somebody uttered, "What's a Prosecco?" at some point. So let's get into it. So we have been sort of talking about, we have no idea how long this season is. We do not know where we're at in the progression, but we are at episode 10. So it's looking like we might be winding down. That remains to be seen. But the last time we saw these folks, they were in Paso Robles. Folks were making up. We thought that Chris and Audrey had DTR'd to find their relationship, sort of with her very postage stamp bikini. But we'll see how that plays out. And then there were some very assertive claims that it's not incest. And Angelica is giving stage 5 clingers. And we left it. Do you remember how we left it last week with her reaching over across the console?
Oh, you didn't need to bring it. Shane looking out the window, looking away.
We left it there, and we were both really horrified and humiliated for her. But we didn't get a whole lot of her because she's in Houston having a boob job. And we did not get a lot of Shane this episode either, so we don't necessarily have to revisit it.
Luckily, in the recap, we did get, speaking of Angelica, was Marcus with talking to Shane, and she's not the one for you, man.
Which I love that so much. Like, she's just not the one. And there is no other more plaintive way, more generous way to say, hey, man, she's not the one, because we know she's not the one.
No.
But I would say, I know we don't like to look on social media, but I do believe she has a new man. And just to let you know how she lets things go and just really kind of moves on normally, the caption to one of the pictures of her and her new man is said, "The right one won't call you clingy." So yeah, she has completely let go of all of the things.
So she's married?
So we'll see. It's new because I follow these dummies on
That
Instagram.
doesn't mean she can't be married.
It doesn't seem like she needs to be married to be globbed on to a new man, right? So she's making these proclamations. But we pick up in this episode, it's 4 days later. And this particular version of the franchise spends the first few minutes kind of bouncing around. Natalie and Cam are boxing. Chris is making content. And I want to say this. All of the content that they show him making on Vanderpump Rules is so G-rated. Like today, he was making him a little rap. And like last time, they were doing Mother's Day stuff. We know what kind of content you're making. Like, I want to see him oiled up in the shower. Do not try to fool us into thinking this man is doing this real G-rated content.
Yeah, it's not all just avocado toast.
No, it's not. And this is where we get Jason doesn't know what a Prosecco is.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know where it is on the, he's having a little trouble with the screen, too.
Well, he's having trouble generally.
Yeah.
Then they are revisiting it. Kim and Natalie are reunited. Time heals all, as we see.
Yeah, Natalie is sticky and sweaty from their Rumble boxing. So we're picking up with Natalie right where we left her.
For sure.
Sticky and sweaty with Jason.
Always.
Now from boxing.
We get a montage of the beef, and I feel like Kim is just the least fun person on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you like hanging out, having a quiet night at home with like all your stuffed animals still from when you were a kid and like to hang out, she's super fun and will have that pizza party with you at any time. But just going out.
That's a read. That is a read. Telling her that she's at home with her stuffed animals is that's a read. Like you insulted her a little, which it's not untrue.
That.
Yeah, no, it's not untrue. She is just very pearl clutchy and everything is just, how dare you? But yet here she is out here with DJ Blackout, which we'll get to in a minute. But listen, bro, she's not the one for you.
No. Angelica
did have a boob job. We get a little just a tiny bit of exchange. They call her on FaceTime, right? And she, gives us a little, flash of it. They went through her armpit, which was information we did not need. But now, if we know it, you have to know it. And this is what's so funny. So she's kind of grappling with the breakup of Shane. And this is so funny. Somebody says, hey, have you spoken with Shane? Well, he applauded my story, which is like the 2025th thing anybody could ever say. And she's, really haughty. Well, he's not going to get any of this. Ma'am, he doesn't want any of that. He made it very clear that he said, thank you, no thank you to you.
I do think she has to be aware that if you show Shane Davis new boobs, though, Shane Davis's opinion of you could change. Also.
Well, yeah. I mean, he even says, she might come back with them new titties, and they, like that's a game changer. So time will tell about how the new titties affect her. But, she did time that surgery perfectly because everybody is kind of downloading all of the goings on of Paso Robles, and she is hiding in Houston. And did you catch why she maybe went to Houston to get her boob job?
Well, that it's cheaper than doing it in Beverly Hills?
For sure.
I assume so. Yeah. But Natalie pretty much thinks it's a good timing thing for her also. Like, the person who pissed off everyone, the person who pissed off like 95, like, maybe Demi and Kim, she didn't really piss off too much. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
But she's the one that gets to, while the dust settles.
It's very convenient.
Way over in Texas.
Yeah, she's convalescing in the Texas. We have a lot of Texas connections. Venus is from Texas. She, I think, is there from Texas.
Audrey.
Yeah, we have a lot of Texas connections. So then we
Mary
get
Faith.
Your favorite. We go to Villa Rosa, and it's so funny to see the way that this generation of Vanderpump Rules reacts to Villa Rosa, because in the old versions, they're all sort of in awe, sure, but aspirational. Like they all clock it and be like, oh wow, this is the pinnacle of it. This is what I want. These dummies, Marcus, Chris, Jason, and Venus, are like, damn, I'm poor as hell, and just to see it react differently. And also, what are the chances? How long do swans live? Are they the same swans?
They could. I'm guessing they could be the same swans.
How long does the swans live? A long time?
I don't have that information.
Yeah,
handy.
yeah. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. You know so many things. I just assumed.
Actually, Chris wonders. Like, how do you get them? Do you have to be swan certified?
Yeah,
I wouldn't qualify as swan certified.
No,
to answer that.
Yeah, so. But in his defense, it does seem like you would need some kind of.
You need a license.
Yeah, some kind of knowledge to handle swans because they are notoriously mean. Birds generally are mean and unpredictable, and I'm not a fan.
I believe that's come up during a trip to Villa Rosa on this podcast before.
It's no secret that I hate birds. Marcus feels poor, and he gives an example of his poverty by saying he still has blankets tacked up on his windows. This man is 31 years old.
I think he may be hopefully kidding.
I don't think he is. I do not think. I bet his mattress is on the floor.
I like how Jason and Chris come in and they're immediately like, this would make great content, bro. Like,
and they do some pretend content. He's walking around and he talks about the artesian marble.
Yeah, with big dick energy.
That's right. And he wants a lion or a tiger. There was some dispute about what he wants. Like he's he's this dreaming big.
They were real impressed with the ponies.
Yes, and he called it a Donnie.
He didn't know if it was a donkey or a pony. Yeah.
So he called it a Donnie.
So Chris is like, he would get tigers, but then he would probably get eaten by them.
For sure, because
smart.
He's real smart. Then Lisa calls from above. She calls down, she summons them up, and they have varying reactions. Venus is very intimidated by this, goddess, beautiful woman. He's really nervous. Chris is just super horny. He just wants to get after it. He really wants to, get a piece.
She clocks it, though. She says to keep dreaming.
What did they hear, though? They don't hear keep dreaming. They hear...
keep drinking.
Keep drinking.
Yeah.
Because we all hear what we want to hear. And we thought that this episode was going to be a Pride episode. This is not the Pride. I'm thinking it's going to be next week.
Hopefully.
Because Venus is in charge. And his vision is, duckies. Folks are just fucked up. There's some drinking. So it's a real fleshed out plan for it. He's got a real idea. And somebody said something about Venus talks about Jason or Chris, I can't remember, being the hottest guy that he knows. That's why he chose them to do this like photo shoot. But you need to know more guys, Venus. If these two dummies are the hottest, you need to know more
The
guys.
hottest two dudes in West Hollywood, right there.
Yeah, that can't be true. Lord, please don't let that be true.
What also can't ever be true is Chris attaining his goal of being with Lisa.
Oh, no.
Excuse me, Chris?
Yeah, like, put some respect.
Yes.
So.
Learn your American history,
Exactly.
as Venus has told us before on here.
That's exactly right. But I like how he mumbles it, though. He's not really out with it. Lisa does that thing where she like pulls one of them aside and kind of checks in, and we get a little bit of insight into Venus's story. And while it is very touching and very heartwarming, I do not believe it is a super outlier story for kids in the South, queer kids in the South. He tells her, he mentions in passing about the boy he met in, when they were out juking last week, and it didn't really make anything. But he does admit to her that as a boy growing up, he felt really rejected. And I am, Jesus, forgive me for saying this. I am so sorry. I know he's sharing a story, but we saw those pictures of him as a kid. He is unfortunate looking as a child.
Oh, all right. I thought you were going to take a different approach with that and the situation.
I'm going to get back to it, but I just want to say, he really...
Into which he was contemplating some very serious things because
I'm
of
going to
the
get
way
back
he was
to it.
treated
I'm
during
going
those photos.
to get back to it. But he really grew into his looks, is all I'm going to say. But he shares a very intimate detail about his life that he had suicidal ideation, and Lisa immediately connects with him because her brother died by suicide not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I remember when this happened on Housewives. I think it maybe they took a break or they paused filming, but I definitely remember it happening, and it really, really did change Lisa's demeanor on the show. She mentions that it was like, before and after, and it was a marked difference in her presence on the show.
Yeah, and that leads into why he's thinking like why pride's so important, and he has a couple messages about staying true to who you are. You'll get what you hope for. So lovely. I mean, it's almost like he's got some kind of second coming out plan.
That's a really good way to put it.
I said that later on too, because he goes into this, but like being able to say something like, I would let my younger self, like if he saw me right now, and I can tell him it would get better, that would mean a lot. I mean, I've had that kind of feeling before, like, oh, leaving work this day, we have our own thing going on, and I'm going home to this person, and like that feels right. And when those kind of moments happen in life, like hopefully you're lucky enough to have them, it feels real good.
It was really touched. I was really touched by that too, about how cute it was for him thinking about his younger self, thinking about him. I do just want to mention that Lisa Vanderpump in this scene looks really good. And I said this while we were watching. Did they smear Vaseline on the lens? What filter are they using? Because this woman looks real young. And I mean, she doesn't always look that pristine, but whatever lighting she had installed at Villa Rosa that day was doing her a favor.
They really worked it for her on that one.
Yeah.
And then what do we go to real quick before we leave Villa Rosa?
Well, I wrote down, we got the booties from the preview.
They're posing. So it's
the
Venus
butts
and the cousins.
That's right.
Are posing.
So
and they give us a little booty action. It's pride, baby.
Right. Well, I wrote booties to mean butts, but like when I read it, I was like shoes booties, like the boots on. I know I'm silly, but yes, from the preview, we were really hyping up these booties. So now obviously they're the OnlyFans creators' boots. Like butts? Who else butts would be there on display?
Lots of Vanderpump butts lately.
Yeah, we got one earlier today. I am not complaining about it. Then we go to Parker and Audrey on a hike, which turns out to be like mostly sitting. And the what Audrey is wearing is so skimpy, and I have no beef with that, but I really hope she's wearing sunscreen. There's so much skin exposed, right? Like between neck and chest. And Audrey, if you're listening, I know you're not, but like whatever skincare you do to your face, do it to your neck and chest too. Because
it's never too early to start.
No, it's never. And you just need to take care of the skin on your neck and chest because, it ages you as well. But she's kind of recounting the phone call. And at this moment in the show, I was like, God, are you still talking about this goddamn phone call? Like, it was nothing. He did it. But later on, she kind of outlines it. And I was thinking, you know what? The only thing you should be mad at is him using the phrase fucking mad bitches. But she lays it out, the red flags that she sees. And I found it to be a better. I wrote again, I hope she's wearing sunscreen. But so on top of the phone call about fucking mad bitches, she mentions that he only comments on her physical looks and that he has made comments about the other shows. And we get some never before seen footage about it. And I just wrote hot goss about other dating shows. Did you take a note about what they exactly said?
Well, it sounds like they're just, they think they can go on these quote unquote reality shows and just play some characters that like they make up, like, so they don't have to be their true self. So she comments that she kind of feels like she's getting some Vanderpump version of him. So he's not really even being his true self. So I immediately am like, way to go, Audrey.
Me too.
Way to know that, because, typically with guys who like to kind of fib about where they come from, not great things
and
follow.
Often, as we've seen in our coverage of season 3, sometimes young women are apt to ignore a red flag, even when a man is telling you outright, looking at you, Jax Taylor, I am a terrible person. Sometimes they are apt to kind of ignore it. And Audrey kind of comes hot. Do I think she maybe pulled the trigger a little too quickly? Yes. But I respect her clocking the bad intentions, clocking the disrespect. And so she is confused, but she's not going to break up with him before she goes to Universal. Just so you know. We'll get to that in a second.
They paid for those tickets. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's early on, but I don't know if it's too early because she feels uncomfortable. They're not in a big relationship. Why not? If you've been out 2 or 3 times and you don't feel like going out the 4th or 5th time, go ahead and, nip that in the bud.
A month or two. She says a month or two later. So, but
still, at any point, if you're not feeling good about taking it to the next step, go ahead.
Fair enough. I don't know. Maybe I do have a little bit of bad picker still left in me from old days past. But before we get to that, I just want to make a comment about Natalie behind the bar in her leather leggings.
Yes.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, get after it. So her and Kim have made up. And look, Marcus comes in and is like, oh, it just warms my heart. You broke this, you idiot. You are the one who made this whole situation contentious. You lied about text messages. You tattled on things. Like, he did this. And he's just like, gives him a double hug, just kind of really rejoicing in the togetherness. And I just want to be like, you're an asshole. And why don't you talk to me a little bit about that little producer exchange?
So in the confession thing with Marcus, they ask him, about what he's up to, and he's just saying, I'm such a dirty boy. And this real creepy.
I don't like it when you say it either.
Definite, serial killer, almost Chucky kind of way. It was very weird, and I watched it twice, and I do not know what they're referencing. And it's interspersed with like him looking at Natalie and Kim when he's saying, cry, baby, cry to Natalie.
Yes.
What is happening? Sure, he's probably hammered. Sure. That's a given.
Yeah. Well, he's not wearing his sunglasses, so we don't know how hammered he is, but for sure. But yeah, that was very weird editing that I'm a bad boy, I'm such a dirty boy, coupled with him being like, yeah, cry about it was a choice. Was a real choice.
Right. Meanwhile, we could have just been hanging out with Natalie in her leggings and Demi ripping on Jason for not being a good waiter because he's making money from OnlyFans.
Yeah, well, he's been
wonderful.
Training a long time. We're in episode 10, and this man is still training.
Well, this is his first night not training, actually, is where we are with him.
Again, I will reiterate, we're in episode 10.
I'm with you. I'm just saying this is the first night.
Weeks.
So first night, here comes Lisa. So why don't we put the guy on his first night with Lisa over here?
I would think if this was a real situation, if this was something real, this is not a bad idea. If you take your little test after you've trained for most time 3 or 4 days, 3 to 5 days, then you take your test, and then you do a live demonstration. Yes, Lisa had her dukes up, was ready to go, but he failed on every single thing.
Right.
I don't want to get ahead.
He has taken a test at this point.
Well,
is that what?
I mean,
now you're a teacher, so I do need to know what your opinion on him.
Doesn't it seem like he needed to have a menu test? Is that not
If you're asking if I think you should have one, he should absolutely have one. What I'm asking you is, do you think he has been given one by this staff?
Well, it is obviously apparent that he hasn't, because when she asked him to describe the crab cake and he says it comes in cake form.
Wait, what's before that?
Oh, well, he doesn't know she drinks rosé.
Well, she asked him the eggplant. What's in that? He says, eggplant dip. Oh, well, that comes with eggplant.
So, 3 strikes.
You have to...
3 strikes, you're out.
You can't be here.
Look, though, we did kind of skip over, there's a scene where, like, Lisa catches Marcus drinking or something, and then he has something in his teeth or something. What was that? He was eating garnish off the bar. He was doing something that Lisa was like, you can't do that on the floor. You can't do that on the floor. And we rewound it a couple times, but we never really, like, clocked in.
It was weird. I don't know.
But I did notice that Venus is really tall.
Yes.
He's very, very tall. Okay. So all of this little demonstration, this results in him getting a demotion.
Which is great. It's one of the best, like, managerial, actual restaurant moves I've seen Lisa make ever. Like, a real decision. You're not great at this position. Why don't you take this one? Which, if he's going to go full himbo, which I've been pulling for weeks, host is the perfect one.
He does not perceive it to be a demotion, though. He's like, hell
he
yeah.
rolls with it.
I get to chat at the front door. I don't got to remember nothing. I don't got to, like, take that. He's all about it. But as Demi snarkily mentioned before, he doesn't need the money. He is making OnlyFans money. Yeah. So, he can come in. He can breeze in, be a host. Him and Vale from 2014 can do it. So then we go to Universal. This is the date. Audrey and Chris, they've had these tickets for a while. And that's important because I was like, why did this woman wait till the freaking end of the day to break up with him? Just do it. Don't get your little Harry Potter Ventus. Chris with his little, slutty little glasses. And Audrey, they're like, yeah, I'm ready to get wet on the log ride or whatever. Just pull the Band-Aid off immediately. And don't make him, be on his best behavior all day long.
Well, these are VIP tour tickets. Come on, they shelled out some dough.
Yeah, well, we got a little tidbit about Audrey's belief system here.
All right.
Okay, let's get into it.
So they're going on a Jurassic Park ride.
They are. Yeah.
That involves dinosaurs.
Right. Audrey doesn't believe in dinosaurs, though, Jeff.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing that you can believe in or not believe in, like aliens or Bigfoot. There's not empirical proof that dinosaurs exist. She thinks, somebody thought of it one day. We're like, yeah, let's just do that.
Chris doesn't go right along with her, though. Chris actually is like, well, there is, archaeology, which is a pretty great, simple explanation.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about
Chris is a little older, but I will know this. From my experience with Gen Z, I will say this, that Gen Z, and I don't want to paint a broad brush, but sometimes they tend to disbelieve things they don't understand. For instance, Helen Keller. They don't believe Helen Keller is real because they can't understand how Helen Keller could learn to communicate if she was both blind and deaf. They also don't believe that birds are real or that the moon landing happened or that, the Challenger killed all 7 people. I think when their brain can't process the enormity of a situation, they immediately think that it's not true. And Audrey has proven the point. Dinosaurs, not real. They're just a money-making scheme for American capitalism.
Yeah, some guy made it up. She doesn't believe they were walking around.
Just big old dinosaurs.
Gives us a please.
Yeah, like they're killed by meteors? Please.
Andre, of all the things I thought I might finally disagree with you on, and I wasn't sure there was going to be a downside to you at all. It's been nothing but positive. I've really enjoyed you on here. It does make me feel very disappointed.
I'm disappointed.
And I want more on this.
I mean, maybe it's a joke. like flat earthers. I mean, they don't really believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But the sad part about this is Chris was going to ask her to be his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
He was
he was
ready.
kind of hyping himself up. And they sit down. They are post log ride. I'm saying log ride. I have no idea. Whatever ride that they got wet.
The important thing is she brought up dinosaurs.
That was the main point of this day. That, and then number 2 being she broke it up. She's like, nope, I'm
Yep.
ready I can't do this. I want to take a step back. And the way they talk about it and dance around it is so strange. They sit down to, once again, sort of like define their relationship. And she talks about, oh, yes, we're at a point where we have to jump or don't jump, or what's your intentions, or, the trip was a test. I need romance and connection. And you can kind of see him kind of ramping up. And she says, oh, well, I think we should take a step back. And he is processing, and he says, oh, like a friendly connection? And she says, no, not that. We're definitely not friendly, but I think we should definitely try to work towards that in the end. What? Is she breaking up with him?
Yeah, I said as she was starting this whole thing with him, it's very weird. She seemed nervous and kind of fidgety all of a sudden. I said, she seems nervous to break up with him.
Yeah.
If you're behind these people and you hear her start talking, you're like, oh my God, this guy's about to get dumped. Oh my God, this is awkward. Brooke would have been going nuts, would have been all over this table. But I didn't think this was even a breakup or not conversation, really. I just thought, like, she seems so nervous, like she's going to break up with him. And then she is like, we need to take a step back. It makes sense to me completely. Like I said already, it makes complete sense to me.
I don't
know.
know.
I just didn't know it was about to actually happen. So I do get his confusion.
Yes, because what we have seen, well, we get the privy to her confessionals, but if we were to only take what the show has seen us at their time together, they seem like they're really fun together. They really like each other. They're getting along. And so I can understand this man was going to be like, hey man, you want to be girlfriend and boyfriend? And she was like, nah, let's break up.
Yeah, but I've noticed the same thing she's talking about. Like the way he's like, damn, baby, look at that. Like, oh, well, maybe not right now here.
Yeah, agreed. But I think he has more to him. And listen, I'm not going to here to espouse the depth of our cousin fucker only fan model.
Yeah.
But what we have learned about him, he is not only the OnlyFans cousin fucker. I feel like there is more depth to him. And I think she maybe pulled the trigger a little too soon. I don't want to question her. She does seem like she has an emotional intelligence. But he's very surprised. He misjudged the whole situation.
Yeah, but do you think he seems as together as we see him when you talk to him for like hours in a day?
Well, I don't know.
Right.
We don't see that.
That's what I think.
But I know that they fucked and broke the bed, so like that's got to be a plus in the pro column.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also she says this thing too that I think is very, I don't want to say naive, but feels, when you haven't had a ton of really long-term relationships, she talks about romance. And I think that is a really destructive word, because like romance is just not sustainable, right? You romance somebody in the beginning, and yes, him talking about how good she looks in her in that bathing suit and her ass looks so good, but also too, she looks really good in her bathing suit and her ass looks really great. So I'm going to cut him a break there.
Well, there's just a way she would love that communicated, and he's not doing that.
Agree. But she also hasn't communicated to him how she wants to. I think that this is one of those situations where 2 more conversations.
Just go ask Chris out.
I mean, listen. I kind of like him. And you know what? I will say this in a minute too, but Shane's growing on me too. Like these vapid dummies. These vapid dummies, I'm kind of like seeing side to him, and I wish that we had not waited till episode 10 to see all of this. Do you know who I do not see a depth or dimension to?
DJ Blackout. Is that it?
Yes. And his Frankenbride, Kim. They deserve each other. They are listen, I hate to say this is so terrible, but if Marcus didn't drink, I don't think he'd have a personality. And if Kim didn't pine over Marcus being a dick, she wouldn't have a personality.
Mm-hmm.
What do we even know about these folks? What do we understand about them? They suck. And they have this whole conversation that made me want to bang my face in the wall. Jeff, this woman is not taking birth control.
Nope. No, and you know why?
Because, I don't know. She didn't want to. She had a real hard time remembering to take it. Well, Kim,
she's bad at taking it.
Yeah, Kim, I just want to real PSA real quick. There are many, many forms of birth control that you do not have to attend to every day. You can have an implant, you can have an IUD, you can have a ring, you can have many forms of birth control. And if you are not trying to prevent pregnancy, you are trying to get pregnant. That is basic human biology. And I wouldn't trust Marcus's pullout game in any form situation. Truthfully, and this is crass, but I wouldn't trust Marcus's get it hard game. Maybe that's why she doesn't think twice about going off birth control, because I bet this fucking man hadn't got a boner in a year because he is so drunk all the time.
Yeah, well, you can do some gross kissing on the couch, though, and talk about moving in with you.
I talk about being a good dad.
Yeah.
What evidence
I did
do we have?
When it was revealed that she's bad at taking the birth control, Marcus calls her a real shithead, and then it goes to her saying, like, I think he'll make a great dad.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different takes right there. on
But also, it seems like Marcus kind of is the one with baby fever. Because the producer asked her, like, you ready to have a baby? She said, absolutely fucking not. No fucking way. And Marcus is like, I don't have baby fever, but I'm a really good dog dad. And, it'd be fine. It'd be fine. No,
they're
girl.
trying. They're not trying.
They're not trying.
Not trying. They're trying.
I swear to God, if this woman pitches up pregnant.
So here's this moment, season 12, episode 10.
Yeah.
We started low, then we got real. Our hopes are getting real high on this lately. This is the conversation where I said I was feeling good about this series. This little, I almost called it a whole episode. This little segment right here is making me doubt it.
Yeah. And Marcus started.
I don't really, but if that
Marcus started off
snippet I saw,
as a real sad sack, and he has sort of evolved into a real drunk sack. But now
we're moving on though.
Now, speaking of moving up, we're on Shane on set. And I need to say this about my friend Jeff. He has told me many times about vertical micro dramas.
Yeah.
I have not logged those conversations any way, shape, or form. This happens, and I'm like, what is he doing? What? And Jeff's like, Sunday, yes, this, and this. And then once he explained it to me once again, then I was like, oh, yeah, this conversation does feel familiar. Because I didn't recall it.
I still can't get that into them. It's very weird for me to watch these segmented movies, essentially, is how I still describe them. But I think there seems to be a big market for them. Maybe it's something that's really picking up.
And I think TikTok has a particular market on it. Nolan's algorithm feeds her these things, and I didn't connect the dots between this and what Nolan was saying, because Nolan's always talking about how things are cheesy, and she's like, oh, they're cheesy like those little minute-and-a-half movies on TikTok.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, well, I don't get those in my algorithm. But I think that's what's happening. But for 2 hours a movie at a minute and a half a piece, he gets $15K a piece. It's not a bad little hustle there.
No, you do 9 of those in a year. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know what the math is on that. That's very hard, but more than enough to sustain.
Well, that would be 90 to 135.
Well, thank you, numbers guy. I knew it. I was waiting for you to say the tabulations. But there you go, everyone.
That's before taxes.
Mm-hmm. And so, not to mention his other endeavors.
Right.
But he wants Jason to get his foot in the door, and
spreading it around.
His Jason shows up with a new haircut or a slightly different take on the same haircut. He's committed to those damn eyebrows, though. It doesn't matter what his haircut looks like.
Well, I don't know if that's even. I feel like they're fighting a fight that if you're trying to go against them.
You could microblade them, or you could like micro thread them. Like, please, like, listen, do not act like I wasn't born with a lot of hair. You know, it was like 2 caterpillars crawling across my face when I was, you know, in high school. And there are things to be done, but he's making a choice. That is his brand. But listen though, when Shane's talking about coaching his friend and they do this flashback.
Oh yeah.
I'm out. I quit. Jeff, what did I see?
I don't know. I honestly thought about just skipping this whole thing.
I mean, they were exchanging sexy glances. They were giving each other direction cues, or I don't know what I saw. There was a lot of like head nodding and, you know, chin snatching, and I don't know. It made me feel.
I think they were acting like they were, you know, this is how like I would coolly blow somebody off. Or something like that.
I thought it was the opposite. I thought he was saying, this is how I would coolly look at a girl.
We can't. Nope. This is too long.
I've already spent too much time.
Basically, they were pumping each other. They were gassing each other up real good, being cool bros.
I was uncomfy. Yeah.
I mean, not to interrupt you. We can't delve into that.
You're right. You know what? That's right. You reel me back in because it just was very strange what I witnessed. It was wild. But he says something too. And like, so if I zoom out, I find Shane charming. But then when we zoom in and he says things, then I'm like, Sunday, like, get your dirtbag kink under control. Because he talks about he is still attracted to Angelica, but like whenever the dramatics aren't around, and you know what? Who knows what she might look like when she has up with them new titties.
Got them new titties coming.
But in the words of the world, Jason says, a boob job can't enhance a personality. Wiser words have never been spoken.
Yeah. Noting that the boobs won't affect her attitude anymore. Well, that's more of a job for therapy.
Yeah. So I do have a feeling that the boobs are definitely going to affect her attitude. She is going to come back thinking that, you know, butter doesn't melt in her mouth. And I am not looking forward to that because I already find her insufferable. But in the meantime, Jason is a crushing on Natalie.
He is.
But can we talk a little bit about why he finds her attractive in this little bit of moment?
Oh, because in his mushy description about her being like lovey and touchy, and that's what he needs.
And super needy, and she just wants to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
Get a dog. Jason, go on down to the Humane Society in West Hollywood. Go to Dog Day. Adopt you a dog. Because
get one from Vanderpump
That's
Dogs.
right. Pop on down. There's plenty that need good homes. Do not attach yourself to this woman because she's needy and needs to be loved. Also, too, Natalie, go to therapy.
Shane does, you know, approve of Jason as a boyfriend. He puts that out there. Mm-hmm. He considers Jason a safe space.
Yeah. And so when he talks like that, I'm like, oh, okay. But then he throws in a lot of, okay, dog, and yo, and listen, bro. And then I'm over. I'm like, nope, I'm out. Can't do it. I can't do it. It's not a grown up way to talk. And then the laugh too. He just, yeah. Mm-hmm. We cut to, were they at Tom Tom? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I thought that Venus was on a date with Parker.
Specifically Ryan's section.
Yes.
Tom Tom.
Ryan is real sweet. And it's not a date.
No, just a hang.
Yeah. Well,
they were with a fellow gay.
They were in this like tall booth and they like scuttled in together. It seemed like it would have been a date. But no, Venus is talking a little bit about his responsibilities for Pride. And I really love this. I said this at the beginning of the season. Venus is the breakout star. He is, you know, who we need to put our eyes on. And he really likes hanging out with the gays.
Yeah.
Because the straights be on a different time.
Be on a different time.
Yeah. Straights don't want to talk about dick.
That's right.
And, you know, I guess it depends on what straights you're hanging around with. Mm-hmm. But he describes his type. What do we understand? Because, you know, we haven't had sex in 7 years.
Yeah, but he likes a bigger man.
Yeah,
he likes a man that
burly.
likes to eat.
Yeah, who wants to like slouch over the table.
Bit of a bear fan.
Get in it. That's right. All bears, y'all go see Venus and WeHo. But then he tells
all bears don't eat fish.
Okay,
that's the thing.
Okay, that's a different conversation. But I'm so sorry, everyone. I got rattled. But this story that Venus tells is the absolute most disturbing story about getting a blowjob from somebody who works at Stir. And my first thought was, ooh, is it anybody we know?
He said it was somebody that worked at Sir,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or it was just at Sir.
Well, maybe he's talking about two, because it says if somebody who used to work at Sir, but maybe it's two stories that I'm conflating. But this story is so disturbing.
What'd you find? What was the disturbing part of it?
I think it may have been that his semen hit the roof of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even a good blowjob.
Nah, one of the worst.
But listen, though, not to put too fine a point on it, but it was good enough.
Seemed like it did the trick.
Exactly, like it did the job, so to speak.
You're telling me it wasn't.
Exactly, like.
Tell you what I'm seeing.
These two things don't match up. Like,
Well, I guess it had been a point then, too. I mean, it had been a while then, too. So, I mean, who knows?
Well, that's what he was saying. He was saying that if he took his self to the shooting range.
Ryan slides into the booth like, how we doing over here, guys? Like, I mean, I could do target practice with my semen.
I mean.
He's like, what's that? What you got? It's like, do you want the curly fries?
And again, I would like to express my skepticism that these beautiful young people are not fucking. They're not fucking on season 3 and they're not fucking in season 12. Like, what are y'all doing? Get out there and be more slutty. All of our listeners, y'all, go be more slutty. Go be more slutty. Yes, of course. But like, listen, Dad. Yes, obviously be safe, but like go and fuck around. This man has not had sex in 7 years. He's talking about last episode, he said he had so much sexual tension he could rip a counter off.
Yeah. That's almost like, it's a double presidential administration.
I mean,
like that's two consecutive.
A very long time. And
we refer to that. That's an era.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah. I mean, he needs to get it done.
Eras.
But this is a very sweet story that he talks about his time in Texas.
Yeah.
That how his parents could not have known because he was walking around with a Joe Jonas picture.
There were no signs. He's saying.
No signs. But he said that his dad watched all of the Vanderpump Rules seasons when he, quote, got a job at Sir. You mean when you were cast on this show, Venus? Yeah, of course. Of course.
Either way, Dad's supportive.
Yes, I'm not diminishing Dad. I'm diminishing his story.
Dad, if you want to come on and give us some of your thoughts.
Venus's dad, come on and tell us.
On a rewatch pod. Let's go.
Really sweet, though, that story. I always like to hear stories about queer kids whose parents are supportive or their coming out story was less traumatic. Because, so much we hear is kids are getting shunned by their parents or they are being shunned at school. And he did have those problems, but it is good to hear positive coming out stories because so many folks are so scared to come out. And so good job, Venus, for telling a good story that makes people feel safe in their way.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was like a second coming out because there's the time when he got to tell them and be honest and air that out with his parents and his family. But now, a few years later, everybody's accepted and getting along, and it's less, it's not a tumultuous thing. So it's a whole new era. He says, it's all, it's all accepted love. And
I was really hard on Venus in this moment until I saw him eating a chicken with a bottle of ranch dressing in the back of a car. Listen, I'm not real precious about my car and my stuff, but please, and was it even rotisserie chicken?
Yes.
Okay. This man is just dumping ranch.
So you saw me, I had a reaction to this.
You did.
I thought, well, on the way to Paso Robles, you freaked out because Natalie had the ranch, but with the raw broccoli. And so I thought Venus was back there with ranch and raw broccoli again. I was like, Sunday's going to lose it. She's going to, and then cut to, what is it really? A whole bag of chicken and some ranch by himself. So
Jeff, do you know how greasy his fingers were? He was leaving greasy fingerprints on everything he touched. Have some decency, sir.
How high are you at the grocery store when the two things you get are a squeezed bottle of ranch and a bag of rotis? And that's it.
Look,
I'm good.
Can I deny that I have never sat in my car at lunchtime and eaten a piece of rotisserie chicken? No, I cannot say that.
None of us can.
But
no one on
a bottle of ranch dressing, sir, have some respect.
Yeah, I mean, not even a cup where you
Yeah.
pull back or anything.
Or a fork.
Not
Like, his fingers were so greasy. There were greasy fingerprints all over that car.
I mean, Marcus and Kim, you deserve that to be eaten in your car.
Yeah, they get what they get. But we did not realize this at first, but they were on their way to McKenna's.
No, very subtle.
That's right. McKenna's beach party
Yeah.
here. And, everybody's around. This was kind of a big crowd. And it's really interesting.
I think McKenna's very cool and popular.
Yes, right. But the show does not give us as much B team as older seasons do. Like,
Yeah.
at least we get like the second and the third tier players. We at least can put a name to them. We don't know any of the folks aside from the cast that we see every day. We didn't know anybody, and they're playing volleyball. And Chris is really confused about the breakup. The math isn't mathing.
Yep.
And she still likes him. And this is why I am not so gung-ho about the breakup. She obviously likes him. She's just scared. And you know what? Is he a 31-year-old youngster? And she is a 23-year-old oldster?
Right.
Yes. But I don't know. I like them together. And I did a little digging around. I won't say what I found, if they were still together or not, but because I'm rooting for these kids.
What did you find?
Well,
Tell us.
First off,
Detective
Sherlock Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, there is no empirical evidence that they are together, but based on his postings and all this like cringe advice and romance stuff and I hiccuped. Him having other women in the frames, and it seems like they're not together. That's a long way for me to say I don't think they are together.
I think it's hard for her to break up with people too. She's so just inherently like nice and sweet. Like her and Angelica were so upset with each other, and then she like really came up to her in front of everyone to say like,
she likes him more than she liked Angelica. I just want to say, but
right.
Then everybody's around, and DJ Blackout, I think, is starting to arrive. He's got his sunglasses on.
Oh, we go like to the bar?
Before that, whenever Marcus like feigns the proposal, that's a mean trick. That is mean. Even she's laughing like,
I bet he's done that 500 times.
That is so mean. Even if you were not even close to thinking about being in a relationship, that is a panic moment, because either you're gonna have to like say yes in front of everybody or you have to say no. He's just such an ass. Like, ugh, I don't know. I have lost it for him. Like, he's a lost cause, and he's not even that handsome. I can forgive a lot if a man is handsome. Cut to all of our coverage of season 3, Jax Taylor. Shout out Jax Taylor, but he's not that handsome. And then the party moves to Tower 12, which is a fun beach bar. I do love a beach bar. I thought
you were. I'm just glad you weren't waiting on me to disagree with you
No,
at
I
some
can't.
point.
I cannot wait on you to validate my terrible decision making in terms of thinking men are cute. I love a beach bar. I love a bar that has this outside. You can see the beach. My family and we vacationed on this little coastal town in Florida, Panhandle, and it was like completely destroyed by a hurricane not too many years ago. But we had a bar that we went to, and it was the diviest, the smallest little thing, but you could literally sit on the sand and throw a rock and hit the water, and it was beautiful and gorgeous. And so I love it. But these folks are going to ruin it. Of course, they cannot enjoy a vibe. Natalie and Jason, fun. They're flirting. She's doing her thing, which I can't tell how, elegant her flirting game is here.
I don't know if she's doing much to flirt, really. I mean, she just wants to have some drinks and make out.
Yeah, it's very chic.
It's the chic thing to do.
It is so chic to get drunk and make out. But, she gets drunk and she makes out, but it ain't with eyebrows. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, this is on my nerves. There is nothing more gross and cringe than two women performatively making out for the frat boys who are watching. Now listen, if Natalie and this, nameless girl want to take it home and roll around, Allison, I'm all for it. But no, do you want to make out so the boys get a boner? No, that is gross. It's gay baiting, and it is 2026. What are you doing? Okay.
So you're on Kim's side here.
Well, no.
No,
How
I
dare
don't.
you?
I'm just kidding.
How
I'm kidding.
dare you,
I'm
sir?
kidding.
I just, this harkens back to a time that we just don't participate anymore. When we were 25 years ago, you would
Mhm.
go to a party or go to a bar and the boys were like, kiss, kiss, kiss. And you
Yes.
did it because patriarchy and peer pressure and whatever. And because, you were secretly gay, whatever. But in the year of our Lord, 2026, 2025, it just seems really gross. And what I was hoping to make it all better is for Natalie in her like a little confessional to be like, yeah, my sexuality is fluid and
Yeah.
sure. And that would have been okay for me. But, Vanderpump Rules season 12 did not do that.
No. We more get into like if Kim or Marcus are into threesomes.
Yeah. So what would it take for Kim to consent to a threesome?
You mean a murder threesome? She would be.
Yeah, like a murder-suicide situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and she gives those vibes. She gives real fun at parties vibes.
What kind of party?
Not a threesome. Not that one, because somebody's getting murdered.
A Disney party, most likely.
Audrey and Chris, they have a little chat right here, and he and I can really understand this because he feels like he did not get a chance to say it all, and I didn't know if it was the editing or if he really was just frozen in time. But
he's caught off guard.
He did not say one word to her in the little breakup with Universal. So now, with a little bit of a slur, he tells her all the things. He likes her a lot, and he wants something real. And this is how I knew he was a little bit in the cup. He feels free with her.
Yeah.
No, 31-year-old man is telling a woman they feel free with her without a little bit of booze happening.
Yeah, he's been considering a future with her.
Mm-hmm. And while they're having this very kind of timely and poignant conversation, camera cuts to Natalie and Jason just mouth fucking on a stool. I mean, it is, mouths are open and it is just, they're groping. She's like trying to straddle him, but he's too short, and she's just like her dress is riding around. Like, it is.
They're almost both like simultaneously cheering as they're making out. Also, like there's victory. I mean, this is like a fucking Viking ship is going down and they've got to make out till the last second.
They were like both trying to climb each other like a tree, and that could have been the show.
Yeah, I'm like, we saw this Chris and Audrey conversation.
Yeah.
Why are we even wasting?
It was comedy.
Because at one point it even like Chris is like, I don't know if you've had much time to think about that conversation, but I think she's like, we just had that conversation. Down. Then it's like a video in the back.
I mean, like it looked like stage acting, but they were making out. It was so over the top. But come to find out, she thinks that maybe she's going to readjust. And like, I couldn't tell. Are they back together?
No, she doesn't backpedal at all. She says we're going to remain friendly, friendly vibes and all that. Chris, I think, is making a change. I think Chris seems to be going from a guy who dates around a lot, gets a lot of play, whatever, and is like ready to take somebody serious. And he's saying Audrey is that person. I'm saying Audrey doesn't need to be the first one that he takes serious. Let him get a couple. If he had a couple under his belt, a little time, then maybe.
Who deserves to be the first one then? Like that girl, like the girl we were talking about in season 10 where like Jack takes home.
Over here is a great candidate.
Allison. Yeah. I don't understand how you know her name, but no matter what, girl, it's going to get her feelings hurt. So, Audrey seems like she maybe could, handle it a little. But that's where we leave it. And next week, we're going to get Angelica's new titties.
Yeah.
There's more talk about birth control. And listen, I'm telling you right now, I said this when we were watching, I may have to skip next week because Audrey does stand up. And I
have an issue with stand up.
It's going to be so confrontational. It's don't make me. It is so bad. Any reality show in which people do stand up. I just was recently watching Shaws of Sunset. And one of the characters on there, Reza, did stand up. And I fast forwarded through it because I can't abide it. I can't abide the discomfort. I do not have the emotional endurance.
I'll take the hit. I'll watch
Yeah,
it
I will. I'm
apart.
going to have to cover my eyes and ears because it's real bad.
I want to know how it happens. I mean, she hasn't been like working on stuff, has she? I mean, we
We
haven't
don't
heard
know.
anything about this.
We don't know.
I
Maybe
mean, we know she's done some actor stuff.
I mean,
but
like last I saw, she was riding horses and, doing minute videos with Shane. So she's a lady of many talents.
true.
Okay. So I have many because the youth.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Because I, for some reason, didn't have any. I think I'm just not even clocking it anymore.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
because I'm more accepting of what's going
Yeah,
on.
well, everything is because of the youth. But number one, how every single solitary bathing suit is a thong.
Yeah.
And I get it. That is the hot fashion. Okay. And I'm not trying to be grandma like, yeah, put your cheeks away. I just didn't see any variety in it.
You did yell that a couple times at the TV, though.
Put your cheeks away. I just didn't see any variety in it. They were all, and I don't know if they all got together and maybe just like scrunched them up. But we don't have anybody choosing full coverage. Seems unlikely because youth. And Venus used the phrase "big back" to describe the kind of man that he likes, and that's a phrase that the olds don't use. The olds aren't out here talking about big backs. Anything hot Harry Potter themed.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume it's but I'll say this too. And listen, please do not come at me. This is not some sort of like boycott of it or whatever, even though I have feelings about, Harry Potter's author. But I have never seen a Harry Potter movie all the way through or read the book. Both of my children read all of the books and the movies. They're just very long. And I just don't have
the reason I thought.
I just don't have the stamina to stay awake. They're very long. So anything, and then
I think we were just too old to do it. I know there are people our age who are into it, but
there are few.
We were right there.
Yeah, there are fewer. So it's more like, we miss it. It's more like the millennials, in which we could be considered elder millennials.
No, we can't. We're
okay, but just saying, there's a line. And then Natalie mentioned that she was looking at the videos on the shared album. Hey, Boomer, what's a shared album? Is that something you have to sign up for? Is it on our phones? Or do we all have access to a shared album? Like, I don't. Do you know? Do you know what a shared album is?
It didn't really hit me right either. But
I didn't know. Yeah. And then lastly, Shane applauding Angelica's story as a way to like passive aggressively show that he's around, but not engaged.
Just one tap. It's got to make you wonder, like, did you mean to do that? Like he was trying to skip past it and accidentally applauded it?
So none of these things that I'm participating with in my everyday life. And I'm just going to assume it's because part of the olds.
I only went with bad at birth control because that usually is primarily
good one.
Primarily stays in the younger.
Yes, well,
category.
Because typically women of a certain age don't really need the birth control anymore. So
also, people figure out.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're taking it at a certain age, you're going to be good at it.
Like, figure it out. Figure out how to take one pill every day. But also, too, I take mini pills every day, so I'm used to it.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Who is your chump, your Vander chump?
All right. Kim was up there.
Okay.
Right, but overall, I believe the private workshopping of the acting scene between Shane and Jason
so uncomfortable
is going to make me say that the amateur freeform acting workshop bit that we saw today is my chump.
Oh, okay.
Or I'm a chump for having seen it. I'm not sure.
That's right. Our eyeballs are the chumps. But
I shuddered.
Based on what acting we've seen from Shane, that particular piece of acting was maybe the best of the best.
But we saw Jason.
Yeah, it was the Jason of it all.
Acting?
Question mark?
It was rough. But Kim, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so my chump is Kim adjacent. It is Marcus's baby fever.
Oh.
Sir, you just got
Mm.
you just got in trouble from stealing sangria from the walk-in at your job. And I do not perceive that you need to bring a baby into this world.
Well, you're crying in public at parties a second ago also.
Yeah.
Like, that's usually...
Mhm. You have an alter ego that
Yeah.
blacks out and, plays dumb music at parties and calls yourself a DJ.
Well, you do get recommended playlists from your girlfriend on your way to your DJ.
You receive special hugs.
Special hugs this year's MVP.
It feels mean. It feels mean to remark on Marcus's special hugs, but I'm just saying maybe he should unpack that before he procreates.
Yeah, like I said, if you're crying in public at a few things, and it hasn't happened once, this has happened.
And
hey man, maybe not the way he told Shane, hey man, she's not the one for you. Hey man, right now isn't the time, maybe.
Yeah, fatherhood's not for you.
I'm not even saying that can't be soon. I'm
also,
just saying,
to process your parents' death.
Well, let's do something.
Yeah. A lot of options, a lot of things that happen.
All right, LVP for you.
Audrey for seeing the red flags and just executing them immediately. We recorded earlier today where we were watching the episode of Sheena's bachelorette party in Miami, which Vale is still coming, integrating into the group. And she is absolutely not identifying red flags. As a matter of fact, she is batting them away karate style.
Episode 10 must be the red flag episode.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're doing episode 10 of the season 3 premieres on Friday. So tune in to hear me lose my shit about Vale being an idiot bad picker.
TBD.
But Audrey I do think she maybe pulled the trigger a little too early, but better to nip it in the bud now than have it die on the vine as you claw and scratch at this man who is treating you terribly. So good for you, Audrey.
Mine, I think once again, maybe it's been a minute, but it's Venus.
Yeah.
He's out here living his best.
Yeah. Venus is doing a job.
He had a great time on the trip, had fun with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's rejuvenated him. He's renewed.
Yeah.
Had a little fling down in Paso Robles. That's nice.
That is a generous way. Here is, and I know we're not at the end, but my genuine hope, dream, wish, plead to the universe, get this man some D. He has got to lower your standards. I'm just saying, do not hold out for this, white knight on a horse. Just get it done. Utilitarian sex, maintenance sex, there is no shame in just knocking it out.
No shame.
No shame. I'm just saying, he's 27 years old. His hoe phase is just out there waiting to be activated. So I very much am rooting for him. Guys, I have got a lot of stuff on Instagram. I've been real busy on the Instagram and the YouTube. So go find us there. Make sure that you rate and review the podcast wherever you're listening. So that kind of bumps us to the top, and send us some emails. Our goal for the year is to do a mailbag in which we answer some questions, but we got to have some questions to answer. So keep coming back. We've got some big stuff, some fun stuff in the works. And as always, listen to our season 3 recaps. That is where the gold starts. And then that's that for us.
The